The plane veers off with a loud roar, and the sounds of it crashing to the ground are captured on the camera phone.
Oh my God.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Get this party started on a Tuesday night.
Everybody's dancing and they dancing for me.
Why you sound like a man?
Because I am a man, Rose. I think you forget that. Goddamn. Cletus.
Hey guys.
Hello, everyone.
We're in a weird mood.
We are in a bit of
a hyperactive mood today.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, both personally and professionally. There's just, there's
just a lot going on.
Like
we're very hyper.
I think part of it is like I'm actually overtired right now because
so you're a little like deluded.
I think so. Because I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, on the weekend, like this weekend, I can't remember. No, I didn't talk about this yet. As I'm like helping my parents renovate their basement, and there was so much work to do. And so Saturday, I made the stupid mistake of booking the gym. So I went to the gym in the morning Saturday, demolition and doing everything on Saturday all day. Sunday went to the gym again.
Look at you.
And it was arm day. And that's like the worst day to do when you have to lift a ton of stuff. So I get to my parents' house. I'm like, I'm not kidding you. I could see my arms like shaking as I'm picking stuff up. And then it was Monday back to the office. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Oh no, you need a day off.
And then we went out Monday night.
We did. Did you feel a little hungover this morning?
No, I was fine.
Look at you. You're just used to, your body's just used to alcohol.
How delicious were those plant-based tenders? Oh my God. Okay. I was like obsessed.
I mean, they were really good. Don't get me wrong.
But they're like, deep fried.
They're deep fried chicken tenders, like vegan chicken tenders. They're always going to be good.
And what's our rule about anything deep fried?
It's always going to be delicious.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you can't go wrong with deep fried stuff, guys. I mean, obviously it's really not healthy for you at all. Exactly. But I'm like, honestly, I'm more concerned if I go somewhere and they have something deep fried, that's bad.
Like that doesn't taste good?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I feel like they can overdo it. Like they deep fry like some like ice cream and then they smother chocolate on top. It's like it might be good for a few bites, but then you get sick of it fast.
And also I feel like if you eat too much fried stuff, you actually start to feel like
ill.
Not great in your stomach area.
It's not good for you. In small doses, Daniel.
Everything, yes. Right?
And what did I drink last night, Daniel?
Rose had she had 2 non-alcoholic beverages.
Guys, did I mention it on this podcast?
I think you might have, but I can't remember. If you haven't, please mention it now.
Hello, guys. I'm Rose. Hi. And
Hi,
I'm
Rose.
an alcoholic. I'm just kidding. But I
Welcome,
am doing
Rose.
Dry January. I'm not an alcoholic. I will say that one more time in case you guys did not hear. Watch Daniel just edit that part out.
I will.
Anyway, I'm doing Dry January. It is now January 17th. I've not had a sip of alcohol.
I have to say, 1, I'm proud of you. But also 2, I'm not going to lie. Dry January in Calgary
is very easy.
Is way easier. Like, did we not try to do Dry January in London?
No,
and
girl.
It's like impossible?
Listen. Oh, I just called you girl. I'm sorry. I misgendered you. Listen. Sometimes
Rose is going to get canceled for that.
Listen. Sometimes you say girl just like you say, hey, guys, We should just live in a gender neutral world.
Are we normalizing it?
Yes. Anyways, so here's the thing. I actually thought Dry January up until this year, I actually thought Dry January in London is actually easier. The reason being is that there's just more to do, even if it's not drinking. For example, you can go to, I know you've never done it, Daniel, because you may have an issue, but I've done like when I lived in London for the 2 years, I did Dry January both times.
I did Dry January I've done it before in Calgary.
In Calgary, but you've never done it in London, so how would you compare? I've done it in both places.
Actually, I think I did do Dry January in London.
But you did not succeed.
And I lasted until about January 25th.
Oh, Daniel, you were so close.
I know, and then I was just like, oh, I fancy a beverage.
That's pretty good though. 25 days.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So I feel like, yeah, in London, there's more to do. For example, you can go to like the museums and galleries, and there's more like events. Of course, a lot of them revolve around alcohol, but there's still things to do, right? Like you can still go to the event and not drink alcohol.
But I think with London, it's like there's lots of, you're dating a lot and you're doing all this.
In January, January is not for dating, my friend. It is for like, you know, doing dry January.
Well, technically, if you're single, any month should be for dating. Rose.
I mean, yes.
We need to be opening ourselves up.
Yes, but then people are going to say, well, Daniel, you don't have to always drink when you're dating.
And I'll say to them, have you ever gone on a date without drinking? Okay. Like,
I mean, a lot of people do, Daniel.
This is true. I just feel like
we're revealing our alcoholic.
I know. No, I just feel like, honestly, no, like I'll have a couple beverages because I feel like it does loosen me up a little bit.
I mean, of course, that's why we drink. I mean, this is my point. We drink because it makes us feel good. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look, you got a Hinge notification.
I did get a Hinge notification. Oh my
very
goodness.
Topical.
That very is.
Who'll
be messaging me?
We drink to get a buzz, right? We drink to get, a little, little something, something. And
speak for yourself.
It's true. Why else would you drink alcohol? Okay, let's not.
Oh, got a Tinder message as well.
God damn, Daniel, you're on all the platforms. God damn.
Things are lighting up for me tonight.
Apparently, people do date in January.
Yeah, well, you've been proved wrong, literally, in this podcast, Rose.
Well, a Tinder message is not considered dating, Daniel.
That's so true.
So,
and knowing my luck, they will go back and forth with messages, and then they'll just stop talking to me. So,
anyway, so I'm doing dry. So my perspective is that it's actually easier. It depends on how you look at it. Like, of course, it makes sense. There's more temptations in London in terms of like, because there's so much to do all the time. Yeah. So you want to go out and drink. But then my theory is because there's a lot of other things to do, you can you can do other activities without drinking. Yeah. And anyway, this month has been, a breeze because I am antisocial. Yep. But actually, I've been doing better because I think this is the first dry January, and I've done like probably 4. This is probably like my 4th or 5th one. Yeah. This is the first time where I actually wanted to do it. Whereas before I always felt like I felt like I should because I was like, oh, I drank too much through the year, so I should probably take a break. This time I was like, oh my God, I need to do, I want to do dry January. I need a break. I want a break.
Because you're getting old, Rose.
I'm getting old. My body just no longer tolerates alcohol the same way. My hangovers just it's just not worth the hangover sometimes anymore.
I know. This is the hardest part now. It's like, as we're aging.
I've always had bad hangovers though.
That's true. You've always had really bad ones.
I did. But to be fair, when I was younger, it's because I actually drank a crazy amount. Yeah, true. So I would get the hangovers from drinking a crazy amount. Yeah. But now I think if I had 3 or 4 beers, I would still not be fully hungover. Yeah. But I wouldn't feel the best the next day.
You'd feel tired. Yes. And also like for yourself, like you've been getting more like sick from drinking, right?
Yes. Oh my God. That's the one thing I noticed. Like literally last year is when I'm like, like, and it's like sometimes I feel like it's unfair. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't drink that much. So I'm like starting to react to alcohol.
Like not in a good way.
Not in a good way. So I'm like, okay, I need to take a break.
Your body has had too much of it, Rose. Too much of the abuse.
Something is going on. And I actually have a theory that like, because like this throwing up is like, no, like, I'm sorry guys if it's too
this graphic, is TMI.
if it's too triggering or something. But like, because I'm like throwing up more, right? And again, it's like a lot of like bile and like, just like, like,
that's not healthy.
It's not healthy. So that must mean my gut is like very, I don't know, inflamed or just like not good. And then also, like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned here, but I started breaking out like significantly. Well, for me, significantly in the end of the year. Yeah. And I haven't broken out like this in years. Like I used to have breakouts, but then my skin has been clear for years. So for me to break out like that, especially in this area, I feel like it's like hormonal. Oh yeah. And like maybe it's the gut issue. I don't know. So anyways, I'm happy to do dry January right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Cause like, honestly though, even for myself with the gut, not the gut issue, but like I've always like, even though I have a really strong stomach when it comes to food, like I can eat
very strong. I
can eat. Like me and Rose, we went to a restaurant, shared all the same food. Rose gets food poisoning. Okay, I'm fine. But with drinking, I've noticed even when I was younger, I used to always be sick. Like I would never have like stomach pains and stuff, but I was always be sick. Like I was always
you would, like throw up
every time I went drinking.
Oh, you mean after drinking?
Yeah, almost every time.
You always did.
Yeah, it was bad. And then now
that can't be good.
No,
over
it can't
years.
Oh God. And well, maybe it wasn't always, but it was like if I drank a lot, like if I was like really intoxicated.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you had 3-4 beers, you wouldn't be.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Whereas now I've noticed after a couple drinks, like last night, not so bad.
I mean, you had 3.
Yeah, I had 3. So. But if I have any more than that kind of, and even some days when I have only 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's weird.
My stomach starts to get in knots.
Right.
And it feels like really gross and like uncomfortable. And then there's been a few times where I've gone out and I've had like not even that much to drink.
Yeah.
And I've been sick when I got home.
Yes. This
and
is
I'm
what
like, what the
saying.
fuck is going on?
Our bodies are screaming at us, Daniel.
I know, our bodies are like, please help us. You guys have damaged us so
Oh my God,
much.
seriously, it's actually concerning. And because now I'm doing dry January, I was like looking up dry January stuff, you know,
Yeah.
like benefits and all this stuff. And because of that, I'm getting all this content about like fucking sober life
Yeah.
and, you know, and some of it makes me feel a little better about myself because I'm like, okay, some of these people's stories, it's like very intense. You know,
Yeah.
people that drink every single
Like
day.
alcoholics.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
literal alcoholics. And even like the non-alcoholic people that are like, even the binge drinkers, some like the stories that I hear, I'm like, okay, it's like more extreme than
It's
me.
like honestly though, it was like when I was living in the UK, right? And I would like talk to people that were like British.
Oh,
and not all
it's
British
a big
people.
problem in
Oh my God.
England.
But it was like crazy because even when I was younger, like if I went out, let's say I was on a 2 week or a week all inclusive,
Right.
I could probably party like 5 of those 7 days, but I still would need a day where I needed a break
Yes.
and whatever else. I talked to some of like these British people and it's like they literally for the 7 days nonstop. It's like they're partying, they're drinking, they wake up with a beer,
Oh
they
my
do all
God.
this. And I'm just like, when I wake up, and this is another thing too, these people that wake up at 10 in the morning after partying till
Oh my
3, have a beer and get back on it.
I'll never understand.
Even-
See, that I'll never understand.
Even when I was in my 20s, I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it.
I would like
the hair of the dog.
no.
No.
What I would do though, like when I was in my 20s, obviously, like I would wake up, I'd feel a little bit shit, you know, like it depending on how much I drank. And then towards the evening, then I'd go
Yeah,
for round 2
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I will be rested.
Me
Whereas,
too, me too.
whereas now I'm like, I can't even do round 2 at that point.
Yeah.
But like these people are like literally waking up. Like I remember you
Damn,
always,
why is your mic so loud?
because I'm a loudspeaker, Rose.
I feel like your mic is I hope it's not too loud.
Oh,
We
goddamn.
tested it, right? Okay.
Yeah, I
whatever.
tested.
Just make sure it's not too like maybe turn it down later if
God damn, is that a bit better or is it because I'm yelling?
I don't know. Continue.
See, look, yours got really loud there. I think it's just your voice is very soft spoken today.
No,
Rose.
it's okay. Look at your thing because it was like very. It should be fine. Just
Okay.
make sure like when you're editing it that it's like it's not. I just hope it's not blowing up the mic. That's all I'm
Oh
hoping.
god damn.
God damn.
That'd be scary as hell, but you don't want to hear my voice blow up a mic. But no, like these British people on tour are like, yeah,
Brits on tour.
yeah, you're right, babes. Waking up in the morning with a pint in Ibiza.
You're obsessed with the Ibiza.
Because I honestly, and I don't get me wrong, I love people from Essex. They're hilarious. They're a good time. They like to party. But we had a bunch of people in my office in London that were from Essex. And honestly, the amount of times when I hear them say Ibiza, I was like, oh my God.
Ibiza.
And I'm like, oh God, it sounds so horrible.
I know. It really just doesn't sound nice.
No, it sounds like the worst accent ever. So like, it was funny because we were talking to our friend the other night and we were talking about like the expression or the term like a chav.
Right.
Which is a very British term, guys. It means, like, for those of you that aren't from the UK, it's like, how would you describe, like, someone like kind of trashy?
Kind of trashy bro.
Yeah, like a bro, like a really,
But like a little trashy bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect example. If you have seen White Lotus, first of all, you need to, if you haven't
Oh my
seen
God.
it, watch it.
See, thank you. You
Yeah.
finally watched
Oh
it.
God, so good, guys. There's a character in there called Jack. Literally the stereotypical chav. Like,
yes.
his-
And he's literally like from Essex.
yeah.
Yeah.
His accent, the way he dresses, the way he kind of like gets wasted.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
And
Brits
how
on tour.
he acts when he's wasted.
Oh yeah. Lads, yeah. And I'm just like,
United.
yeah. Can you please do that again? Rose?
United.
Pretty sure he didn't do that, but
he did. He like saying the United
he did.
anthem or something.
Yeah, he did say that. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Oh man, so funny.
But he was definitely a Brit on
Yeah.
tour, and
Oh, that's the thing. He's like he could be hot.
he was a very good looking man.
He was like quite good looking, but there's
Yeah.
some scenes where I was like, ugh, like you're so trashy.
I know. I actually was like really attracted until he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that he said was like really like
I
cringy.
know. Oh, ew.
Yeah. Anyway,
I put
watch
on
it.
sexy underwear for ya.
Put on sexy underwear for your
ya.
babes.
Babe. He never said babe.
I know, but they do say that. Like that's like an Essex thing. Like if you ever watch The Only Way is
my
Essex,
God.
they're always like, "You're right, babes."
Anyway, guys.
Isn't it funny how there's such like regional accents?
It's so funny. And like
Yeah.
the British, the different accents in England are so hard to understand. I remember when I first got there, I was like, oh my God, it's like, I don't understand half these people.
Yeah.
They definitely don't talk like Prince Harry.
Oh no, definitely
damn.
not. That's an isolated person.
It's the royal family. Anyways, shall we jump into the stories?
We shall jump into stories.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Did
I
you
heard
hear
about
about this?
but I don't know. I mean, I just saw like a headline and I didn't really look. So there's more Britney Spears drama. So what would that be, Daniel? Tell me.
This is like non-drama, but the thing is, there's TMZ actually got a lot of backlash for this.
Okay.
So what had happened is Britney was out with her husband for like dinner at this restaurant.
Right.
And there was someone.
She's been cited. She's not dead. We've clarified.
Because there was a big conspiracy that she had died, and I was like, okay.
My God. Okay, continue.
Anyway, so she was cited out having dinner at this restaurant, and I guess there was someone from TMZ there.
Of course there is.
And they were trying to film or do something, and I guess what TMZ said. So I'll tell you what TMZ said, and then I'll tell you what came out afterwards.
And TMZ is that really trashy tabloid celebrity news organization.
How they're still in business, I don't know. Like, they should just go away.
Of course they're in business. They're in the business of talking celebrity gossip. They probably make so much money.
So basically, TMZ ran a story. This was yesterday. That featured that was taken by someone in the restaurant that appeared to show Britney Spears talking with an employee, shielding her face and acting in a manic way during the whole time.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you saw the video, so I saw a clip of the video, guys, and it's like a noisy restaurant. You can't even hear what's being said. She's not acting manic. First of all, she puts a menu in front of her face, which I would do if someone was filming me.
Yeah.
Like, anybody would do that. And then they said her husband had stormed out and all this other stuff. So it came out later. One, her husband was going to get the car because he was like, we want to leave.
So what I saw was that this must be when initially the story broke.
Yeah.
Because the initial story that I saw was like her husband storms out of the restaurant and like basically made it seem like he like left her or something.
Yeah, and then she's acting all crazy. Right. And then they post this video being like, Britney Spears has lost it, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God, honestly.
And I'm like,
hell.
This poor woman.
People have no no compassion.
I really think, though, honestly.
How can you do that to somebody?
Exactly. But honestly, I think that there needs to be legislation or something around these crazy paparazzi.
Right.
Like, I get it. That's kind of like goes hand in hand with being a celebrity, but there should be times and places.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember I've seen so many celebrity interviews where they'll be like, you know what? I get it. It comes with the role, but like, photograph me on the red carpet, interview me there. If I'm out for dinner with my kids, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually having my own family time. Like, my job is there.
Yeah.
And this is separate. Like, if I go to I know that I have to go to media things and all that. Take pictures of me there. Great. Red carpet, you take pictures, interview me,
Sure.
But like, leave me alone outside of my work, know?
Yeah.
And it's the same for a lot of us. Like, think about it. Like, we have our, Monday to Friday job. And if we have like, our boss is like harassing us at like 9 o'clock at night, at all hours, or taking pictures of us at a fucking restaurant.
Oh my God.
So apparently what had happened.
So the truth of what happened.
The truth of what
that
happened.
He was getting his car.
Yeah, he had mentioned that he was like going to get the car, and the reason is the person that was filming had started filming before.
Okay.
And I guess naturally, Britney did get kind of upset. She's like, why are the people filming me? And so he was like, let's go. And then so she was just probably talking to the waiter or something to try to like figure out what to do and whatever. And she was holding the menu up. Anyway, we don't know 100% what happened, but like from what him and Britney have said, and also from the video that you see on the TMZ posted, she's not acting wild at all.
Right.
She's just like standing there talking, and the restaurant's so noisy you can't even really hear what she's saying.
Right.
And then she holds a menu up above her face.
Yeah.
Which anybody would do that.
Yeah. So are they gonna like sue TMZ?
I don't know what's gonna happen, but apparently like there has been so much backlash with TMZ right now.
I mean, like they're just a fucking shady ass
organization.
organization.
They're so
they're
creepy.
Just like ew, like Yeah. They're just very slimy.
Well, and they've always been like that. When they have like they used to have like a TV show.
Yeah.
And they'd all be like in this room. And they'd be like, what's the latest story? Tell me the latest story.
Like they have like videos on it, right?
Yeah.
Like they're also cringe.
Oh God, it's horrible.
It's so cringe. I'm like, can you just stop?
Yeah, it was so funny because on one season of RuPaul's Drag Race, they actually did a mock of TMZ.
Oh, I love it.
So all the drag queens were like dressed up like bros.
Right.
And they were like, yo, latest story in. Britney's seen over here.
Is that how they talk?
I don't know. But that's how they talked when they did the mockery.
Honestly, that's probably how they talk.
Yeah.
And like, imagine like being grown ass people. Here's my thing. It's like, I would hate that job because imagine being a grown ass person, like, 20, 30 something, 40 something years old and writing gossip stories about celebrities.
It's just not, it's just horrible.
It's just, how do you find that fulfilling as a job?
Exactly. But the thing is, especially for the paparazzi, part of the reason why it got so crazy, and I think it's still kind of crazy, I don't think it's as bad as the the magazine era.
I don't think it's as bad.
No.
But that was the darkest time.
Oh, that was the darkest time. Because now it's like not as much, but like
because people have social media now, so I feel like the allure of a celebrity has toned down a bit.
It has, yeah.
Whereas before social media, it's like that's why people wanted to take pictures of Britney Spears at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time you'll see her outside of any sort of red carpet event or stage.
Basically,
so it was very
yeah,
interesting.
It's like, and I agree with you. I think back in that time, especially like when we were growing up, like kind of late 90s, early 2000s,
was the worst time.
Fucking crazy. Like,
yeah.
And I think back, and you're right, because we didn't have like as people that love celebrities and whatever else, we never had a window into their lives outside of their music videos and concerts.
Yeah.
Whereas now, with the invention of like Kardashians and all this stuff, social media now, if you're a celebrity, you can do a live reel from your home.
Exactly.
And so we get more access to them. So we're less like, the paparazzi's post some pictures, like it's cool. Selena already had that on her, on her Insta reel. Like, but back in the day, where I was going with this is back in the day, paparazzi for certain pictures, they could get like ridiculous. I swear I heard
millions.
Millions for a scandalous photo. Yeah. Like, the one of like Britney coming out of a club without no panties on, things like that. Those shots, like, someone retired from that.
Literally.
Like, it's crazy. Like, it was like, but I remember just seeing videos of it and it was just like madness.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how overwhelming that would be.
I know. It's so sad. And it's true, though, because it sells, right? Because platforms like TMZ, if they have a video of, Britney Spears, walking out in her underwear and being crazy, that shit's gonna, I'm sorry, but it's gonna get clicks at this point. Before, back in the day, it was magazine sales. Now it's gonna be clicks.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get clicks onto their fucking website, and that's how they make money.
Yep. And even people are saying, like, even though that was a fake story from TMZ, which probably a lot of those stories are fake, that because they're getting all this backlash, it's actually better for them too.
Right, they're making more money.
Exactly, because they're like, now more people are going to see the video and like doing all this other stuff. So
and they have no, like, I feel like they have no shame.
Yeah.
So
they don't.
They probably don't. They're probably loving the backlash, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they, that old saying, like, no
publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I disagree.
Do you believe that?
No, I disagree. Yeah. Like, I'm like, if I was a celebrity or like in that status and something really scandalous came out, like, I think, like, for example, Kanye West with the whole fucking like Nazi stuff, like
that's him doing it to himself, though.
No, I know that's true.
A little different.
That is true. But I'm like, shit like that.
But
I'm like, yeah,
him saying that is not good publicity. For him,
no,
for
and,
sure.
and I'm pretty sure he'll be canceled.
I don't know what's going on with him. The last time I heard, he married someone else.
He did not.
I don't know, Daniel. I don't keep up with this fucking stupid ass celebrity gossip.
God damn.
The only thing I'm invested in is a little bit Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because she's our childhood.
God.
She's like our childhood guys. Like,
it's just so sad.
I know.
Even just seeing her in her like Instagram videos and stuff, I'm like, oh, just that old Britney is just gone.
I know. Well, it's because if you look at like that time period as well,
I know, they fucked her over.
They fucked her up, and then it's shit like this. TMZ coming back and doing this. That's what the issue was to begin with. Like the fact that she had so many people and no one around her, like even her family, like
I know,
seemed to be like a grounding thing.
I know,
for her.
that's the worst part. It's like, this is the worst part about these celebrities is that a lot of times it's the reason why they become famous. First of all, is because she was kind of famous from childhood, right? Which obviously means her parents are a little fucked up. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then, so if your parents are a bit fucked up, they're not going to help you when you're going through your fucking, issues. Mm-hmm. So it's just so sad.
They're just pumping you to make money.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you think about like Lindsay Lohan and her mom.
Oh God, I don't know what's going on with that.
I know that was.
Did you watch that new Lindsay Lohan movie? It was like that Christmas one.
I did not. Did you? Did you watch it?
No, but I saw reviews and they were bad reviews. So I was like, I can't watch.
I know.
This.
I felt really bad.
It's gonna ruin my childhood.
I know. I can't remember which movie I watched with Lindsay Lohan, or there was like a clips of her in like something like recently, and honestly, I think back to like Lindsay Lohan and I'm like, she was like back in her heyday when she did like Mean Girls and
Mean Girls, iconic.
Freaky Friday, and like she had so many good hits, like big movies and stuff, and she was such a good actress.
She was so good.
And then I don't know, like now anything I see her in recently, I'm just like,
I know
she's
lost it.
Yeah, she's lost that it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like bad saying that, but
yeah,
it's
I
just
feel like the last good movie was Mean Girls.
Yeah,
that was like, she must still make tons of money from Mean Girls.
Well, she must, like,
because that movie is iconic. Like people watch it constantly.
They get like royalties.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's like for example, like Mariah Carey. You know, she you know her Christmas song.
She makes like millions every year.
I think she literally makes 3 to 4 million.
She literally makes just off that song
Off that
alone,
one song
millions.
during Christmas.
Yes, because literally that song is played over and over
It's
and
like
over again.
I would say it's like one of the biggest Christmas hits.
It is probably the biggest one. Like when you think Christmas hits, that's probably the first one that comes to
But it is so good.
It is very good.
Like whoever wrote that song.
Oh God, I missed the Christmas season. It was so nice.
God, I know.
And now it's back to,
the grind. I miss the relaxation.
I know. I miss just like being a, piece of shit and being happy about it.
I know. Oh God. And like I went to my parents for like not a week, but for a couple of days and stuff, and just like literally doing nothing. Yeah. I was like,
you became the couch.
I became the couch. I like woke up, would have breakfast, then lay on the couch all day.
It was so nice.
Oh.
I miss it.
Barely check. But I didn't even look at my phone.
I mean, I have a bit of a phone addiction, so yeah.
Are you one of those people that watches TV shows and has your phone going?
I really try not to, but I definitely do that.
Okay, because one of my old roommates was the worst for that, and it was like,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And she's like lovely girl, but she would be watching a video on YouTube while the TV's going, while doing, and I'm like, you're like, your mind must be like this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, our attention spans are a bit fucked up because of all of this new technology.
Because of TikTok.
I know. Here's the thing. I think I'm going to start implementing a rule that I can't go on TikTok unless I'm like walking on a treadmill or something. Like some kind of like, because I need some kind of boundary, I did put on that 1 hour time slot, but then our 1 hour limit. Yeah. But you can also kind of like override it. And I've done that a few times, not going to lie. But sometimes my excuse is I have to post the TikTok, and sometimes I spend a little time.
Nope, that should still count in the hour, Rose. Sorry, I'm not gonna let it fly.
Oh goddamn, Daniel! It's not my fault that you're so good at just watching TV. I love how now watching TV has become like the better thing to do.
Yeah, I know. It's like
before, like when we were young, it's like, look at that Daniel watching TV again.
Do not watch the
All
TV.
All he's doing is watching TV, and now it's like, well, as long as you're watching the TV and not looking at your phone.
So speaking of phones and social media, so actually this story, it's really sad, guys. And one of my coworkers actually mentioned it. I don't know if you've heard about this.
I have not.
There's been a few instances with planes lately.
Oh God, that fucking freaks me out.
I know. So there was a plane. I don't know the exact date here, guys. This story was published Monday, January 16th. And
so it must have been pretty early.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was
pretty recent.
I think it was over the weekend. Oh yeah, here we go. It crashed on Sunday. And the reason why, a plane crash makes the news anyway.
Sure.
But the reason why this one was like more, got more buzz is because, oh God, and it gives me like chills. Oh, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos or anything.
No.
So basically this plane was like coming to land, right? They were, okay. So apparently
tell me a little bit more about where was it? Like,
well, it was flying from India.
Okay.
It was going to a place called, and I'm going to say this wrong, I think they were headed to Pokhara for a trip of a lifetime, intending to visit the temples and paraglide in Nepal's famed
So they were going to
mountain
Nepal.
range. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to Nepal. Now, as the plane's coming down, I don't even know exactly what happened. Basically the plane's coming down and there's a guy who I guess had internet service or Wi-Fi on the plane or something, was doing a Facebook Live.
Okay.
While the plane was, and at the time, everyone's laughing, everyone's excited. They're looking out the window because they're coming down to land, and everyone's just like, this is like a super exciting thing. And then
he could do Facebook Live on the plane.
No.
Or just go.
Just
so he was excited for the trip.
Exactly. They're all excited for the trip. They're all laughing.
He's connected to the plane's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, or something. Basically, you can hear people in the background. It's really fun. One of the men can be heard saying on the video. The friends can be heard laughing and joking, and the camera's turned to the person, and he's smiling. This guy apparently had 3 kids and ran a small business back in India. All appears calm with no emergency announcements or any warnings, and then suddenly the plane veers off with a loud roar, and the sounds of it crashing to the ground are captured on the camera phone.
Oh my God.
Before the screen is filled with flames.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't find the reason of the crash, but oh my God, can you imagine watching that?
No. Like,
that's so fucking terrifying.
It almost gives me like such chills. It reminds me sort of like, I think it was in like 9/11, when the planes hit the buildings.
Oh, and then they were like calling.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so sad.
Or like even also what tripped me out was that girl that like called her sister from that car. Do you remember?
No.
The one that like fell asleep. Remember she was like.
Oh no, she was texting.
Oh, texting. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But you always hear about this stuff because now our phones are like
they're with us all the time.
Exactly. So when these kind of things happen, are you seeing if you can find out why?
Yeah.
Yeah. These things are always happening in our lives, and it's like we have our phones with us 24/7. So it's like terrifying. It's like there's a film called what's a popular film called Taken, and there's a scene where she's like in the she's hiding, and these guys had broken into her house, and her dad's like an FBI agent or something, and he's like they're gonna take you. Like there's nothing you can do.
Oh my God.
And she starts crying, and he's like, listen to me carefully. You have to yell at the top of your lungs any distinctive features of these guys.
Right.
While you're being taken. Because you leave your phone down here. Don't bring it up with you. Leave it under the bed. And then they grabbed her, and she started just like yelling like distinct features. Like,
why can't you take the phone?
Well, because he was like, they're going to get it, right? Like,
oh, okay.
So if she leaves it under the bed and just starts yelling distinct features, it's like,
oh my God.
You know? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to find what the reason is, but basically it says the pilot of the flight that crashed in Nepal did not report anything. So did everyone die on the flight? Can you tell me how many people died?
It sounds like there was like everyone went to hospital.
No one is believed to have survived. Oh my God. So the pilot didn't report anything untoward as the plane approached the airport. So mountains were clear, visibility was good.
So it's like a
there
random
was no
freak
issue.
accident.
And this is supposed to be the country's deadliest plane crash. So Nepal's deadliest plane crash in 30 years.
Yeah.
There were 72 passengers and crew aboard this flight. And no one is believed to have survived. That is so fucking sad. And God, I want to know. Oh my God, I can't believe it was like fucking filmed.
This is the thing about the plane crashes though that kind of freaks me out. Like I take the plane a lot. We both do.
And like we know that it's such a small chance.
Yeah.
But like just imagine, like these people probably thought it's a small chance.
But this is the issue though. The issue with plane crashes versus car crash, right?
Yeah.
Car crashes way more likely. Like your chance of being in a car crash are like exponentially more than being in a plane crash.
Yes.
But on the flip side, your chance of dying
is like
in a plane crash.
100%.
Yeah. Like there's really, if you're in a plane crash, like you're probably not going to survive.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Why did it crash?
I saw the video. My coworker showed me the video of the guy. And
you
I was just
watched
like,
the video?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my God.
like,
I don't think I could watch the video.
It gave me like chills. I was like, I can't watch this because everyone's like smiling and excited to land. And then all of a sudden it just like veers off. And then all you see is like fire.
Oh God. Oh, have you watched that video or that movie? I think I told you about it, called Alive. So it's like this old movie, and it's based on a true story of actually these people survived. So there are some people that survived.
There is
plane
survivors
crashes.
sometimes.
But like anyway, so this was like it's based on a true story, and it was back in like I don't know, the 60s or 70s or something. It was a long time ago. And there was this plane going from somewhere in South America to somewhere, like maybe it was like Uruguay to like somewhere. So they were flying over the Andes, I think, which are like the mountains in South America. I think. And this plane, I'm assuming it was like a smaller plane, right? It's fucking beware of the smaller planes
With the propellers.
Like, maybe I don't know if it was the propellers. Can you Google a live film? Okay. Anyways, so there was in this plane, I think it was mostly rugby players. So there was like a rugby team that was going to another city or another country to
over the Andes.
Right.
You're right.
And it was a rugby team that I believe was going to go like play a game or something. And so they're like these young guys, like probably in their 20s or something. And they were flying over the Andes and something went wrong. And then it fucking crashed, right? In the middle of the Andes. And the Andes are fucking huge.
Oh, God.
Like, it's very hard to find any, you know what I mean? Like, it's huge. Like, imagine like a plane
it's
crash
like the
in
Rockies.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And then, so obviously like a lot of people died. But some people survived somehow. Yeah. Okay. Somehow some people survived. Yeah. But they're in the middle of the Andes. So basically the story is about how they like basically got out alive.
Is cannibalism involved and stuff as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like they had to, because like, well, I guess it's called cannibalism still, but like, obviously these were already dead bodies. It's not like they killed each other.
It's true. It was more like out of survival.
Like, would you eat a dead human body for survival?
I mean, if I had no other option and I had to survive,
I would.
Exactly. It's like people, they talk about there was one guy that was like trapped in an avalanche or something for like 3 days.
Oh God.
And the reason he survived is because he drank his own urine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how he kept hydrated.
This is how I know, like this is if I like, obviously we never would want to be in those situations.
Exactly.
But like the stories I've heard and these survival stories, I'm like, okay, so basically I have to drink my own urine and, eat dead bodies if I need to. Like, I'm sorry, but
I would just be so thankful that I survived the crash in the first place. So I'm like, whatever I gotta do.
If I died in the crash, I would want people to like,
eat your body.
It sounds bad, but yes.
Yeah.
If that meant more people could survive, yes, of
Yeah.
course.
This is the thing. You're dead. At
I'm
that point,
dead.
I don't care.
I'm
You don't mind. Don't
I'm
mind.
just rotting at this point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rot into nothing anyways.
Yeah.
So fucking, do whatever you gotta do, man.
God damn.
People just have a weird thing about eating like human. Like I get it, of course, it's weird, okay, and it's kind of like
it's gross. Like
But of
I
course
wouldn't
we
I
don't
wouldn't
wanna
choose to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
If I was forced to though, and it was my only option for survival.
Exactly. But it's like, okay, but if I'm fucking needing to survive, that's how these guys survived. And they made a movie out of it.
And if they,
it's a very good movie. You should watch it.
I will. I will.
You're never gonna watch it, are you?
They probably go through like such a dilemma as well though at that point, right?
They did.
Like,
So they show the whole like discussion because there was like a group of them that were trying and then they had a little bit of food in the beginning. So they didn't immediately go to the eating of the people. But they only had a little bit of food. They had like a little bit of chocolate, a little wine, like very small amounts. And there's like, these are grown ass men, right?
And they're rugby players. They
need a lot of food.
Yeah.
So then like eventually when they're like, when they're really struggling, they they start discussing this idea, and some people are like against it at first, and then eventually they do it because how are you going to survive? So it's actually quite interesting. So when they got discovered, there's actually like footage, like there's like pictures of them getting discovered and stuff. And when they got discovered, I think what happened was the people that were discovering them, because they had been missing for like a month or something, like a long time.
Yeah.
So they were shocked because they were like expecting, they weren't expecting these guys to look not healthy, but they didn't look like they've been starving for a month. So initially they were like, what's like, and then I think that's how they found out that they were like eating human flesh. But who can blame them? Anyway, next story is God, that's going to give me nightmares. That story is going to give me fucking nightmares.
I know. Do you want to see I should send you the video.
No, I'm not watching the video. Please don't send me the video. I don't want to watch it. No, that's
you.
traumatizing.
Okay.
I remember at one point I like went through like this rabbit hole of listening to the 911 calls or something of people at like not in the plane of 9/11, but like in the building.
Yeah.
And like, oh God, it's seriously the fucking saddest shit I've ever heard. I was like, oh my God. And I just like went through that rabbit hole. I don't know why. Sometimes we like the pain. Oh God. Anyways.
So some more.
Oh God. Anything happy today?
No.
God damn, Daniel. What other depressing ass news do we have today?
So this is like, again, this is like one of those things where it's just like, okay, ongoing, continual shit that's happening.
Like shit that we always talk about. Is it climate change or
it's
gun
climate
control?
change.
Which one is it?
Climate
Okay.
change. So basically, apparently, well, not apparently. So there's an area of Arizona,
right?
Scottsdale,
and
basically there's like this suburb that's kind of like, from my understanding, it's like not technically part of Scottsdale. It's like a little bit out. So that's why there's like a little part of this like suburb that's like a little bit out.
Okay.
And so what the city has done, I guess, is there's been a huge drought in this area.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of their water from the Colorado River, apparently.
Right.
And the river's super low. The reservoir is like really low. So the city has like cut off water to this suburb that's not technically like kind of part of the city.
Right.
And
are they allowed to do that?
I don't know. Like, I guess they are because they have.
So completely.
Yeah.
It's been over 2 weeks
since the water supply was cut off from an unincorporated community outside of Scottsdale.
Unincorporated community.
Yeah. However, this drought is a problem 2 decades in the making. So I think.
So because of this drought.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just not give people water.
Yeah. And this talks about like, I guess Lake Mead is where a lot of the water reservoirs is.
Okay.
And that's at record lows. Like, it's just not a good situation.
But they can't just cut off water. You're going to kill people.
Well, I don't know. Well,
and Arizona's hot.
Arizona is fucking hot.
Yes. I don't understand this.
So the area that they cut off.
The residents in a community in the foothills of Scottsdale, Arizona, said they are on the verge of running out of their water supply after the city stopped selling water to the unincorporated suburb due to ongoing drought. So they stopped selling water.
So they've cut it off. Like, it would mean like, because technically the city sells us water. We pay for our water.
This is fucking bullshit, okay? Yeah. Water is a fucking natural resource. We should get it for free. It's honestly, it's literal bullshit. This is one of the biggest scams of capitalism. Continue.
And then the area is called Rio Verde, I guess. They're normally lush. It's quite an affluent area as well.
Okay.
So that's why they're probably like making a bigger
lots
noise.
of water as well.
Yeah. Because they have these huge golf courses. They have a lot of big homes there.
Right.
So those people are going to be kicking up a stink.
Okay. Continue. Oh, is it bad that I feel less bad now?
No.
Okay.
So
like, they're going to get their water somehow.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, again, it's still not good.
Exactly.
But, you know, I feel a little less. I thought it was some like poor community. Okay.
It's not.
I feel a little less, you know.
Until recently, I guess it's a small-ish community.
What does it mean by unincorporated community?
What I think it means is like, it's not part of the city. Like
right.
it's like, because I think in the city, like you can't stop giving water
Yeah.
to a certain community.
Right.
But this particular, it would be like how we have Calgary, and then we have
Yeah.
Calgary limits, and then there's like a community outside of Calgary.
Right. But then they kind of just like did their own thing and built their own shit.
Exactly. And then they buy, you know, water from that
Right.
city, right?
Interesting.
And the city's been like, we're not going to sell it to you anymore. We can't afford to
Okay.
because we're in a drought.
Okay.
And then basically, yeah, they're just, you know, again, I feel like the story was more just to like hammer home about how lovely the planet's getting.
I know, and how like, we're just like running out of water everywhere. And LA has been raining for weeks. I think, I don't know if it's weeks, but like that's not normal. Because like,
No.
remember LA was in drought.
Yeah.
You know, they were freaking out about not having water, and now all of a sudden it's too much water all at the same time.
Right. And
What the hell's going on?
I know. And remember when there was that flooding in Europe last year? And they were talking about how
Was there flooding in Europe last year? I can't keep up anymore, Daniel.
I know, it's
There's
too
too
much.
many things happening.
But apparently, I think if I remember this correctly, it was
Yeah.
like if there's like a really long drought, the dirt actually like it dries up, right? Like it gets really like clayey sort of.
Right.
So when it starts raining, the water doesn't soak into the ground as fast.
Right.
And it can cause flash flooding.
Right.
Because think about when there's really dry like dirt, it's
sure,
like it's like packed.
makes sense. Yeah.
You know?
Because like there's not enough, like the pores aren't open anymore.
Exactly, it's not
So then,
porous.
so then the water doesn't flow through like it normally should.
Exactly.
And now it's getting stuck. Totally.
Or it
makes
takes
sense.
time, really long time to like
right,
work
because it has
its way
to
through.
soften. It has to soften the dry ground.
And that's why places like LA, or even Arizona, like if Arizona was in this, well, they're in this massive drought. If they all of a sudden had a huge rainfall,
yeah.
it wouldn't get absorbed into the ground properly.
Right.
It would cause flooding.
Right.
I mean, it would still some of it, obviously, but like, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
this is just like, when's it gonna end,
Well,
guys?
I guess so, because of these storms in California, Southern California. They call them winter storms.
Okay.
How cute. Basically, it's just rainstorm.
Yeah.
And
That's their
to me-
winter.
to me, a storm is like winter, snowstorm.
That's right, because so my friend that's living in California,
You have a friend living in California?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lily, you know her.
Oh, yes. She lives in California.
She sent me a video of this like place that we had been when I went and visited her in November.
Uh-huh.
And it was like flooded, and there was like a lot of rain going, and the pier that we'd walked out on was broken.
God damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the one good news is apparently they captured, because you know, in recent times they haven't had enough water, and now all of a sudden they have too much water.
Yeah.
So they captured more than 33 billion gallons of storm water that can apparently be used for future drinking water. So
Okay.
at least, you know, that, and then it says that amount of water could supply 816,000 people with water for a year. That's how much it rained, Daniel.
Yeah.
And that's just the shit that was captured.
Yeah. And also, but then you know the sad thing is, you know where a lot of this water's going?
Where?
Why we're having this issue with the water?
Where?
Animal agriculture.
Oh, goddamn, Daniel.
They be using up so much water to water them cows.
I know.
Like, it's actually so resource heavy for that stuff, and I'm
It's
just like,
so crazy.
I'm like, oh, and then not only it's like twofold.
It's so bad.
Because then also the animal agriculture is polluting the water. So
Yes.
it's like polluting the natural
Yep.
waters while using so much water. And the thing is, guys, like we are in a globe, right? Like all the water that we have in.
flat.
Don't get me started about flat earthers, Rose. You know that my favorite group. I found a support group in Calgary. I'm gonna go join it. But like the thing is, like we're in an isolated globe, right? So like all the water that we could possibly have is in this globe.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not going anywhere.
Right.
I mean, it is going places, but like
Right. People are not thinking about this.
exactly. And the more we destroy this globe,
Yeah.
like the more worse these problems are gonna get.
I know, but we're not going to stop.
I know.
At this point, like it's just, you know, we've been warned so many times.
I know. It's like,
And it's a shit has fully hit the fan.
oh yeah. I mean, it's just rapidly getting, it's
I
escalating.
know.
And the thing is, like, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, like we are gonna really start feeling the impacts. We already are. But in terms of like, especially what I'm fearful of next is because of these crazy weather patterns that's happening all over the world. The next natural thing that's gonna happen, it's already kind of started happening, is it's obviously gonna impact crops.
Right.
Right, and that's gonna impact food supply.
Already happening.
Yeah. So it's
Already
like,
happening.
I know. It's like,
I know.
fuck. Like,
I know we're fucked. We got to learn. I would like to learn how to farm indoors. Indoor farming. That's the new, that's the next best thing.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video for it. I'm sure you can check it out.
Well, I heard that indoor farming is good because then each individual, right now, because we're, especially us in Canada, we're very reliant on warmer climates to feed us the produce.
Yeah.
We can't really grow produce here.
Damn.
And also, even if we could, not all, all months of the year.
Yeah.
So we very much rely on, global supply. And if that runs out, we're fucked.
Yep.
Okay. But there are even in Calgary, there's indoor,
greenhouses or
in the mall, there's a store that grows crops.
Oh,
indoors.
I saw that in TD.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they, they grow greens. I'm sure there's certain things that you can't really grow.
Yeah.
But
there's
they
gonna be
grow
some plants that are more
greens and
finicky.
stuff. Exactly.
Think about all the plants we have in our houses.
Exactly.
They're all growing.
You could grow some lettuce or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I wonder if you can grow tomatoes.
I feel like you could. I don't know.
But I bet you there's definitely going to be some plants that just don't.
Yeah.
They need to
you
be.
can't do mangoes, for example, probably even anywhere in Canada, probably.
Yeah,
whether
probably
it's
not.
indoors or not. But hey, you know what? Technology.
Exactly. Oh,
Who knows?
God.
We may have to resort to that, Daniel.
God.
It's pretty bad.
Damn.
Okay, what other depressing ass stories do we have today? Oh, lovely. Yes, I heard about. So I've kind of half stopped paying attention to Andrew Tate news.
Yeah.
But I have heard that the evidence is damning.
I know.
That this man, I mean, again, surprise to no one.
It keeps piling
is
up.
actually an artist. Arpist.
Oh, yeah.
It rhymes with grapist.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I shouldn't be laughing, but we can't say the word.
It's crazy.
So he and people have literally come out and explained what this man did to them and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, and he has, there's audio recordings of him saying despicable things.
Yeah, I think one of them was I heard some of the audio recordings and stuff, and one of them was oh, it's not like when I choked you, you passed out or anything, and blah blah blah.
Oh my
all this
God.
stuff, really quite aggressive. He's you liked it, blah blah blah. He's just such an awful man.
I can't believe, I hope he's gonna go to jail.
I hope that him and his brother both go to jail for a very long time.
Yeah. Is his brother also accused of?
Yeah, they're both. They're
same
both
thing,
currently being
kinda?
held in Romania for human. They're being held for human trafficking charges.
Right, and the ape charge.
Yeah, and you see their whole business model of what they were doing before, with the webcam girls, was exploitative.
Yeah.
Exploitative.
Yeah.
He would talk about this business model, he's such a bro, and he was yeah, these women, they're proud to work for me, and yeah, I take a huge cut and I give them a little bit of, but he's it's still more than they'd be making in their Eastern European country.
Ew.
And I'm you are a disgusting, despicable man.
Ew.
Him and his brother became millionaires off of the backs of webcam girls.
I know. I really fucking hope they rot in jail. I have no sympathy for these men.
I don't either. I'm literally these exploitative people.
Yeah. Oh my God. It says Andrew Tate even was seen on camera talking about having sex with 16-year-olds.
He's just despicable.
What the fuck? Ew, this man is so gross.
I like this comment. Overall, their popularity was a poor reflection of the state of humanity.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's a bigger issue, right? My concern is mostly, of course, there's people like this.
Yeah.
But my concern is, how did he become so popular?
Yeah.
That's the biggest concern.
This is the issue. It should have made more people
literal rapist.
Yeah. The whole stuff, even before all this came out, all this stuff that was surfacing with Andrew Tate, it should have been shut down right away. The fact, you're right. The scary thing is there were so many young, impressionable people, men, heterosexual men.
Yes.
And maybe some homosexual ones. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people are young and impressionable.
Exactly. And they became this cult following from behind him.
I know. It's
loving
insane.
everything that he said.
It's actually disturbing.
And I feel not maybe a direct impact of Andrew Tate, but you're seeing it again. And I've talked about this so many times about the whole concept of body counts.
Oh God.
Because I see this on TikTok all the time. I don't know if it's in my algorithm.
Well, what's crazy is that was a talking point back when we were younger, and I thought we had kind of moved past that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, remember that song?
Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera. How does it go?
While the girl can do the same, and you call her a whore.
Yes.
You can't hold us down.
What was it called? Can't hold us down.
Yeah, Can't Hold Us Down.
Oh, what an iconic song.
Yeah.
And that came out in early 2000s, and we were in junior high. I was like, damn girl, yeah. And And so back in the day, like it was already, that was the thing. It's like if a girl, you know, dresses this way or like sleeps with lots of people, like, you know, she's a whore. But like if a guy does the same thing, he's a player and he's, you know, he's someone you're supposed to respect.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's come back.
I know.
And it's weird. Like it's like the pendulum swinging
it's just
in the
awful.
opposite direction again.
And the worst thing is like I see a lot of these TikTok videos and it's like these young guys like 18 years old, first year of college or whatever. And they're like, yeah, what's a appropriate body count? Yeah, bro, like if she slept with more than like one guy, she's not the girl for me. You know, she's had too much D in her or whatever. You know, like just these like horrible.
Ew.
And it's like these like young children.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
It's just concerning.
But you know, on the flip side of it, these guys are like talking about body counts and whatever else. But we know from that study that was done in the U.S. that
they ain't getting laid.
They ain't getting laid.
You're not the one they're sleeping with.
Exactly. Your body count's 0, buddy. Like,
oh God, it's just.
There's another type of pandemic. You know what it is?
The straight man. Virgin pandemic.
Virgin pandemic, yes.
I mean, honestly, we laugh about it, but it is a serious issue.
It is. It's an issue because people aren't talking to each other. People aren't, you know, communicating and
instead they're following. Here's the problem. Like, I completely acknowledge that, like, you know, the fact that, you know, straight young men are not, you know, having sex. That is an actual. It's not the fact that they're not having sex that's an issue. It's not. It's not me saying, oh, women need to sleep with men more. Like, of course, that's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But it's a cause or a symptom of a unhealthy social society, right? It's like, you know, it is normal for people to be. You okay there?
Yeah.
It's normal for people, young people especially, to be, you know, interacting with each other. And usually when young people interact with each other, they have sex. Mm-hmm. Young people, their hormones are fucking crazy.
But you're right. Yes. It's more so, and we talked about this when we talked about the Virgin pandemic. One of my favorite sayings, guys, is that it is a societal issue. It's not the issue that, you know, people aren't sleeping together. That's a problem. That's a symptom of what's going on in society. And it is actually bad. Like, it's scary. Like, you look at what
happens is that, like, these young men that aren't getting laid or whatever, instead of, you know, looking at the bigger problem or the actual cause of the problem, they're going to blame women. They're going to watch people like Andrew Tate. They're going to believe everything Andrew Tate says.
Yeah.
And idolize him for whatever the fuck reason.
I know. It's just brutal. It's so bad. Like, oh God.
And then he's even said, like, there was like a quote here. Oh my God. I honestly don't even want to look at his face. He says, I love, like, R-wording you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And he was just like, the more you liked it, the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it.
Oh, he's deeply disturbed.
Yeah, he's like, well, I think it's like he has like abandonment issues. He has all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he has
like,
major issues.
Yeah, like.
Oh, but like he's such an awful human being.
Oh God, like I just don't even want to see him.
Like
anymore.
He clearly just like wants to power trip. Like he wants to feel like the man.
He wants to
like
feel
what kind of an alpha male needs to do that?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh God, even just like alpha males.
I know. Even the term alpha male, but it's like, you know, what kind of an alpha male needs to force a woman? I know. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean. Like, it's just so dumb. Anyway,
I hope you enjoy. Again, I know it's like a power trip, but it's like, how do you think? How is that enjoyable for you?
I know. I don't get this. It's like
someone does not want you. How can that be enjoyable?
It's like when people also, like, you know, use substances and stuff to get people like comatose and then take advantage.
Oh yeah, like the whole thing. It's
I'm like part of the enjoyment, at least for me, is actually interacting with the person wanting to be interacting with me.
Yes. That's like literally the whole point.
Exactly. Like that's a turn on for me, is that they're turned on and they want to fuck me.
This is why it's like, it's not normal. Yeah. This is not normal behavior.
Yeah.
Like it's not normal psychologically.
Oh God. Dang.
Is he going to go to jail?
I hope so.
Oh my God. Honestly, yeah. Again, it's not him that we're concerned about. It's like the fact that he had a big following.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I still don't know to this day.
Anyway, guys, on that
positive note, guys.
Oh my God, it's so depressing.
I know. What a depressing episode.
We need a happy story. God damn. I've been sober for 2 weeks.
You got a happy story you want to share with us, Rose?
Nope. I've been sober for 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Is that a happy story? You know what? I will say the weeks are going by a bit slower. Yeah. I feel like I do have a little more time on my hands, which is actually quite nice.
It's nice. It's a good thing. It's positive.
Yes, I've been trying to slow down time, and you know what? The answer is no alcohol.
Yep. There you go. Boom.
There you go, Daniel. Maybe one day you'll do dry January.
The answer to your prayers.
You never do dry January with me.
I'll do it next year.
You will? Mm-hmm. You promise?
If I'm still in Calgary.
You heard it here, folks. What? What'd you say?
If I'm still in Calgary.
Are you going to leave?
I don't know.
Are you considering?
I don't know.
Guys. Guys, this is a serious topic. We're going to take it off camera.
This is going to be taken offline, guys. And on that positive note, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. If you're watching this video on YouTube, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Hit that like and subscribe button and leave us some comments in the comment section down below. We love reading those. If you're listening to us on a podcast platform, hit follow so that you'll get updated every time there's a new episode. And what else, Rose?
And also give us a little review and tell your friends and family about our podcast. Of course, 5-star, nothing less than 5 stars. And make sure you join our Patreon for the exclusive content.
The juicy exclusiveness.
Every single month. We need a really juicy one.
Yeah.
Soon. Anyway.
Yeah.
Every single month, guys, you get a brand new, completely exclusive episode on patreon.com/the SaVeg podcast. Also, all the episodes are ad-free for the Patreon subscribers.
Yep.
And you get every episode a week earlier than everyone else.
That's right.
There you go.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening, you guys. And
Thank you so much, guys.
Next week.
Bye.